What's happening, people? Episode 5 of Chunky Tea and Friends coming straight at your face. On this episode, we have Bethan Lientie. She is a tattoo artist. She's a graphic designer. She makes cosplay stuff. She is a D&D'er. She is everything. Like, as you know, she works with me at the studio at the Iron and Pin, and her work ethic is just unbelievable. With working with her physically at the studio and just seeing all her other projects, it's really admirable the way that she can just grind and like a lot of it isn't for monetary gain. Most of it is just because she loves doing what she's doing, and honestly, that is the best way that anyone can live their life, and it's very inspiring. I'm not going to rabble on too much with this intro. We'll just get straight into it, and I'll talk to you guys afterwards. But yeah, here it is, episode 5, Chunky Tea and Friends. See you in a bit. How's it going anyway? All right?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Not bad, mate. I can't get used to this second lockdown.
I know. I mean, actually, I'm kind of enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but it doesn't feel like the last lockdown. It feels like...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like people take it quite seriously as well. So you go outside, it's like, it's still kind of normal.
Yeah, but there's just our shop shut.
Yeah. Just like,
it just feels...
fuck you guys in particular.
Yeah, it just feels like, oh, we're closed and that's it. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it's one of them, like, sort of hypocritical things anyway. It's like, I just popped into town to get some food, and there was loads of people in town getting food, and it made me really mad. Yeah.
You went into town?
Well, because Littleton's still at nursery, so obviously that's in the middle of town, and you drive through there, and you're just like, well, everybody's out, everybody's doing bits.
Are they? See, I'm taking it seriously. I'm kind of hiding away. I've got all my craft supplies and everything I need. I'm like, I'm not going to go out there.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Kind of prefer.
Yeah, it's just a bit fucking weird, man. I can't get my head around it because like it just seems normal, and
yeah, it doesn't feel the same. You know what I miss? People queuing outside of Sainsbury's because it just felt so end of the worldy, but it made you take it seriously.
Yeah, yeah, because there's I think they're still letting people in and stuff, aren't they? Yeah,
there's no barriers. Yeah. Just go in, whatever. Walk past people, lean over each other, cough on each other.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, a lot of places as well, because they've sort of, been prepped from the last lockdown. They're like, oh, just revert to that and just carry on.
It just kind of feels like a little holiday, to be honest.
Yeah, well, hopefully it is, and we're back to work soon.
See what happens.
Yeah. Well, there's loads of stuff for me to talk to you about. I don't know where you want to start, really, because obviously there's the graphic design stuff, there's like your tattooing, generally what you've been doing over lockdown, like you've been doing the bento boxes and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Comic-Con and stuff like that?
Yeah, can do. That's kind of what I've been working on so far. That's my kind of lockdown plan, is getting loads of cosplay, crafting, that sort of thing done.
Yeah.
Should I just kind of...
Yeah, just chat, man. Tell me.
Yeah, okay. So, today I kind of got into it through steampunk. I've been doing for like 10 years odd, so kind of really got into like crafting through that. Been really shit at it for many years, and now I'm trying to take it a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Getting better at making things. I'm really enjoying like putting stuff together with the EVA foam, and kind of wishing I had a workshop to get better at that.
Yeah.
I have some examples.
Yeah. Show us what you've been working on.
Okay, so currently working on making these horns out of EVA foam. So that sort of thing.
Yeah, man.
They're kind of like half done, so that's going to be for a whole outfit. Here's one I've worked on last year. So this is like a big mace.
Yeah, man. What inspires you with that sort of stuff? Do you just go, right, I want to make a mace, that's it, I'm making one? Or is there like a bit more of a process of like an end product?
Well, I've always kind of based it on characters. I've always been really into like pop culture and that sort of thing, and getting obsessive over certain shows, and just kind of finding a character that I like and wanting to create something for that. So this was from the Mace was from Brigitte in Overwatch.
Right.
So
Okay.
her kind of Shield Maiden cosplay last year.
Yeah.
Spent 6 months odd working on it, and then bought it for Asylum, where it was a heat wave, so I managed to wear it for 1 hour.
Yeah, to be fair, I remember you saying like you was like, all right, this is like a sick outfit. I've got it sorted, and then it was. I remember the day as well. It was
horrible.
It was fucking roasting, and you. I don't know if I messaged you on the day or whether I saw you afterwards, and you were like, yeah, it lasted. It didn't last very long, and
no, I mean I got some good photos, so that was good. But it was the worst. It was like 40 degrees.
Yeah, and it never is in the UK, is it?
No, I mean, there were people walking around in like fursuits. I felt bad for them.
No, fuck that, man.
No, I don't know how they managed. But it's always really satisfying getting to that end point where you put it all together, wear it out, and it's just like a really good feeling knowing that, like, because I try to make everything properly from scratch as well.
Yeah.
Knowing it's all been put together that way.
Yeah. Is it quite costly then, or is it like, can you get the stuff quite cheap, or is
you can do it cheap, but it kind of becomes more expensive over time, I think. So, like, I started out just using floor mats, like yoga floor mats.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, really cheap, because you can get like go to JTF, you get 6-8 of them for a tenner.
Right.
And I made like most of my armor suit out of those. But then if you want to get better with it, you need like the higher quality stuff. So that's what I'm kind of learning over lockdown. I ordered a couple of rolls in. I'm making stuff better quality.
Yeah, man. So are you on about selling any of them, or is it just like for your collection, or is it just?
No, it's just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's something great in that. Like, I think one of my biggest problems, I'm always like, how can I turn this into some form of business or hustle, or do you know what I mean? And I think it's quite nice just to be like, I do it because I enjoy it.
I think that's the creative thing nowadays. You're kind of expected to monetize all of your hobbies.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of hobbies, so if I tried to do that, I wouldn't get anywhere.
No. So what got you into all that then in the first place? Like you said about you got into steampunk and that, but like where was was it gaming or?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like really into gaming since I was young, and that's kind of inspired a lot of what I do, whether it's my tattooing or illustration or cosplay stuff. Just really like video games and TV, and that is fun.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't think I've ever met someone like yourself who can like literally just churn out like designs like that.
Yeah.
And just go, right, I'm drawing that, boom, it's done. I'm like, how the fuck have you just like, it just come out of your head? How have you done it?
Yeah, a lot of people say that about me.
But you seem so chill as well, though. That's the thing. Like, you don't seem like it sounds bad, but in the studio you don't seem busy doing it, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, flash sheet done, there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking about this before, because I have had this conversation with other people, and I have a chaotic nature, and even though I'm very chill, like chaos is my thing.
Yeah.
I will just start drawing. So I'll send over a video actually, because on Procreate you've got the time lapses.
Yeah.
I'll send you my process, and it's basically I'll draw like a squiggle, and it'll be a circle, and then I'll turn it into something else, and then I'll have like, that'll become a painting or a flash sheet or something.
Yeah.
I'll just doodling and be like, that kind of looks like a pigeon wearing a hat. So I'll do a flash sheet, pigeons wearing hats.
Right. Fair enough. That's pretty mad, but it seems to work.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I'm trying to get over a bit more, because it doesn't necessarily lead to like the best quality stuff.
Right.
I do a lot of it, and, might make a load of shit stuff, but there'll be some good in there.
Yeah, just like what is it? Yeah, quantity over quality sort of thing. Just like if I keep doing loads and loads and loads, then I'll hit some gold sort of thing.
Exactly, it's about the momentum. Just like keep doing it.
I find whenever I sit down to draw something, I'm like, well, unless I've got a bit of inspiration, or I'm like, I've got an idea. Let's do it. Let's draw it. But if it's something where I'm like, right, I need to make a flash sheet to put out, to clients or this, that, and the other, I sit down there and just go completely blank and just like, what can I draw?
What's really good for that is just looking for inspiration from anywhere and just letting your mind go. It's like best thing is going on Pinterest, just type something random and go down that rabbit hole of like, click on this. Before long you'll end up with something, and that's kind of like what I use for a lot of when I can't think of what to draw for a flash sheet. I'll just go through there and be like,
shout.
yeah. it works half the time. Half the time you end up somewhere weird.
Yeah, I suppose that's a
You know.
win-win. It's a win-win, really, if you end up down the rabbit hole and discover something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like Sharpie. I think he did that once, and he discovered heavy metal knitting. And I was like, where have you found this? And it's just like this competition of people knitting on stage with a metal band. And I can't.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching. I went down the. It's harder to go down the YouTube rabbit hole nowadays. Like it used to be random, wasn't it? But it's like a load of psychiatrist interviews with people in the 50s, and they're really creepy. It's cool though.
Sounds mad. So like, yeah. So where are you at then? Like with tattooing and designs and all that sort of stuff. Where like, are you doing a lot of that over lockdown or?
Planning on it. I haven't started on it yet. I think when I run out of foam or something.
Yeah.
But I do have some ideas. I really want to do some more back piece designs because I love doing back tattoos.
Yeah, I do think you you do a lot more like the smaller sort of like because you are flash sheet oriented, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I find a lot of people book in for those as well, so I just kind of do more of that.
Yeah.
Like an idea is I'm thinking like a Baba Yaga sort of like house, but like on the back, so but like real kind of illustrative sort of style.
Yeah, and just blasting a whole fucking back out on it.
Yeah, exactly. But like loads and loads of detail and that.
Yeah. I find that the biggest thing is getting people to commit to big sessions, isn't it? That. I feel that's the that's the biggest downfall of it's the world we live in really. Of if it's something that's going to take like hours and hours and hours, finding someone that can afford that and can actually
deal with the pain as well.
Yeah, deal with the pain, dedicate the time, and we can't be the only artists out there that we've got so many people that are like, oh yeah, I'm getting booked in, and it's always another thing.
Makes sense though. I mean, backs especially like it's expensive when you think about the amount of sessions. Like if you're doing something like a Japanese piece, like how long that could take.
Yeah,
it's commitment.
So what one thing what got you into tattooing? Because I don't think I've actually ever asked you this question, and I interviewed you for a job.
Yeah, but that interview was just kind of us standing there like, oh yeah, so yeah, tattoos, cool.
Yeah, and you were like, nice studio. I was like, thanks, nice tattoo work, and you was like, sweet. I was like, got a job. Yeah, okay.
You were like, I'll get back to you in a few weeks, and it was like 1 day later.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, come on, you'll do, mate.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, what actually got me into it? So weirdly, never wanted to tattoo, never really had any interest in it.
Really?
Beforehand. I kind of thought it would be cool, but never really thought it would be something I could do. But
yeah.
We do Airbnb at the house, as you know, but we had a lot of people staying, so over the summer we have quite a lot staying, and had this woman come from Spain, I think, Mallorca, and she's a tattoo artist, so she was doing guest spot at the Tattoo Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying she basically just like sails around the world doing guest spots at different places, and because she just sails as well herself, and it's just cool. I thought that sounds so sick, just like traveling around, making money, drawing all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just over the next couple of days thought about it and just kind of sent out a load of messages to a bunch of different studios asking for apprenticeship, and then happened to get a message back for one, and yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, so like it was never like a childhood dream or anything then?
No, I literally just kind of happened. I didn't even have tattoos at that point.
Really?
Yeah, she did my first tattoo, which was that little one.
Yeah, man.
I was absolutely bricking myself all day because it was booked in for the afternoon. I remember being like petrified.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I can't really go for an apprenticeship and not have any tattoos.
No. To be fair, you haven't got that many still, have you, really? Like, for a tattoo artist?
No, not really.
Stereotypical one, anyway.
I mean, I've got like 14, 15, I think.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of random little ones. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's...
working on the arm.
Yeah, man.
But I kind of want to... I'm kind of glad that I got into it quite late because I don't have all those, the shitty ones that you get when you're 17.
Yeah.
I can choose what I want and like curate my arm.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I wish I'd done. Oh, excuse me. Although I was, I don't regret the tattoos I've got. I'm very like, I would do them differently now and approach it differently. So it's a very, very odd one. I think there's only one that I want covering up, and I think I've got away lightly for a person who's got as many tattoos as I have.
Right.
You know, do you know what I mean? Like to not need more cover-ups or want more cover-ups.
Yeah, because I think that's quite normal. It's like most tattoo artists, I think, like are really into it from a young age.
Yeah.
They know that they've wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
Get the knockoff ones when they're 14 and snuck into a studio sort of thing.
Yeah. It's changed a lot though, hasn't it, the industry? Do you think? I mean, did you know much about it before you was tattooing, or was it literally like a whole new?
No, it was literally, I'd never kind of put a foot into the studio before.
Yeah. So what was you doing before tattooing?
I was doing kind of freelance illustration and design work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, to disclaim, that doesn't mean I'm not interested in tattoos now. Obviously, I'm massively.
Yeah.
Like being able to like research all about the history of it and learn about the industry and the culture has been so interesting, and you know, that's my life now.
Yeah. It is weird how it like consumes your life a little bit. Like.
Yeah, it does. And I know way too much about skin now. You know.
Yeah.
How weird that is.
Yeah. It's like when people go, oh, so what is it like on this? And you're like, on your elbow, and you're like, oh, well, the skin there is quite tough.
Yeah.
So you can't feel anything. Actually, it's a really useless piece of information to know, but it does help our job, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Come out with the skin facts of people.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the other question?
I don't know now. What was you doing before? So you was doing like the graphic design stuff and that.
Oh, yeah. So, So I always wanted to draw and do that, some kind of work. I mean, originally I was going to do psychology or marine biology or something, but then I heard about graphic design, which I thought, that sounds like a way you can make money out of drawing and doing...
Right, hold on, just rewind. Sort of rewind a bit. You said you wanted to do marine biology?
Yeah.
And ended up drawing instead?
Yeah, because I basically, it sounds dumb, I hadn't heard of graphic design.
You hadn't? Right, okay. That's fair enough.
Like, you know, you see signs everywhere and leaflets and stuff. You don't think like, oh, that's a job I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe other people do.
I suppose I hadn't until, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I don't know. Yeah, I see what you mean. No, it's never, you don't see, maybe more so now, but especially like when I was at school, it wasn't very much like, I'm going to design leaflets and branding and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think we had design technology class or something, but yeah, so ended up, you know, applying for that, went to Sheffield Hallam and did 4 years because I did an MDes, which is like a halfway master's sort of thing, which I only did because you get to do a semester abroad. So I was like, could do that just for that.
You went to Barcelona for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I went there for 4 months to do the Erasmus. Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
It was amazing. It's like a little design and art school in Barcelona. Oh, so cool. Totally different sort of thing to Sheffield. Yeah,
it's very different, very bipolar destinations, really, aren't they?
Definitely. Came back, got depressed about being back. I think that was like my whole plan. I was always going to move abroad somewhere, but ended up in Lincoln, which I actually love living here. So, did that, graduated, moved down to Bognor, back home. Yeah. Back up, and then trying to find graphic design work, but never managed to actually find a job, even though I was so certain that was like easy work to get into. Yeah,
I think people struggle with the graphic design, like in Lincolnshire. It seems like I think it's up and coming now. It's a bigger city, but like the graphic design side of things is, it was definitely like we was told for most like jobs like in the creative industry, I was always told, get out of Lincolnshire, you know, go to Manchester, go to Liverpool, London, wherever, because Lincolnshire is just like, it's just farmland.
Because like in uni, they always told us go to London, and it's all kind of London, or at least go to Manchester. So I can see why I struggled to get work, but I'm really glad I didn't get any job.
Yeah, it's weird how things can align.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like you never know where you're going to end up, really, do you? Kind
No.
of doing freelance work, and I did a bit better with illustration,
Yeah.
do missions, things like that. So I was doing that when I met Annette, who was the one who was the tattoo artist.
Yeah. Do you still keep in touch with her?
No, it's just kind of a brief meeting, like, some of those people in your life where it's just a short time and then onwards.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be awkward if you met her again and she didn't recognise you or anything like that? Or
no, I don't think so. It's one of those things doing Airbnb. You get such a turnaround of people, and it's nice having that where people can kind of touch on your lives in some different ways. But it's just you just see it for what it was. It's just a brief meeting.
Yeah.
When I think about like that was a turning point where I wouldn't be doing this now if it weren't for that.
Yeah. Well, maybe she might see this and be like, oh, I've inspired someone.
If so, thanks for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's highly unlikely that she's one of my 12 subscribers at the minute, but like maybe further down the line.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I love that whole concept, like, where do people come from and what inspired you to get there? And I guess it's the whole butterfly effect thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's all the different versions of you in different places.
Yeah. That's a whole deep conversation we can get into as well. Because I've often thought, like, where I would be if it wasn't for certain things in my life happening. Because, I only really took up tattooing professionally because of my little one, with her coming along. And then I'm like, when you consider 6 years ago, I was an electrician working on building sites.
Yeah, that's so different.
Yeah, without even thinking this would be my life. I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm like 25. I cannot do the rest of my life on these fucking building sites. What am I going to do?
I'm kind of surprised that you chose tattooing as an out to that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, for better, for worse, like my parents, like, I blame them and thank them at the same time, because they were very much like, get a trade, which was great, and it's made me get to the point where I am now and be thankful for where I am now. But they were also very much like, you'll never be a rock star, you'll never be, like, you cannot do creative stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a generation thing, I think, of like wanting their... How was your parents with it all?
Yeah, fine. They were probably... I've never really asked them. They're probably quite surprised they ended up doing this, considering never had any tattoos or anything. But I don't think they'd be surprised that I was like ended up drawing.
Yeah. Were they always quite supportive of like being in the creative sort of industry or like pushing the creative stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. All my family's really creative.
Yeah.
Some sort of thing they do. So yeah.
Yeah, because your dad writes music, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does songs, and he always wrote kind of poems and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's kind of just like a family thing where everyone's got some kind of creative thing that they do.
Yeah.
Which is nice in that sort of environment where it's very encouraged.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I try and encourage that with my little one, and like my missus gets very grumpy with me when I'm like, right, no, you need to hold the pencil like this. This is a better way. This is a better technique. And my missus is like, you do realise she's 3, yeah? And I'm like, no. You say again. Sorry, you broke up a bit.
Oh, that's how they get better, though,
Yeah, but that's it. I'm a bit of an Adolf Hitler when it comes to like raising my kid. I'm very much like, do this. These are the rules. But I hope she goes down there. I think I'd be a little bit gutted if she didn't. Like if she wasn't creative.
Wouldn't it be cool if she ended up being a tattoo artist too, though?
Yeah.
Do you think? Would you encourage that?
I like to think that I would encourage it like healthily, but I fear that I would encourage it unhealthily and be like, this is what you're doing. You're creative. And she's like, Dad, I just want to be a plasterer. Leave me alone.
I just want to go into insurance.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you was quite well backed up and everything then, like going through college and stuff.
Yeah, it was never really in question. I always kind of just went off and did stuff myself, to be honest. I never kind of asked permission or probably discussed it that much. It's just like, okay, I'm going to do this. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, sound, see you later, off you go. Yeah, that's good though. That's good.
Yeah, and my brother's just started at university, and he's doing video something, but video editing. But it's got one of those names for courses that they do now, where it doesn't sound anything like what you think it would be.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of cool to see him as well going into like a different creative industry, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get him to do animation for me.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
That would be cool.
Have you done much of the graphic novel stuff? Because
I did try, but I just don't have the patience for it. Have you tried doing comics?
I've done I did try, but it was more me like, don't know. I tried not to fit into like a stereotype, I like to break the boundaries of anything that I do try, if that makes sense. That sounds really pretentious, doesn't it? Sorry, but
more dimensional comics.
No, yeah, but say again.
Comics that you can taste and smell, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't want to go down that the pow bang, like the stereotypical thing. I wanted to make sure that whatever I did was unique, and I just couldn't work it. And added to that, I'm not very good at writing stories, so that doesn't help.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm not good at writing at all. I'm so bad at that. So I wouldn't do that side of it anyway. But I've tried doing drawing comics for other people, and I just find it such a slow process, and every panel has to be an entire painting.
Yeah,
it takes ages.
Yeah, I suppose it feels very probably feels more rewardless, if that is a word. I don't know. Is that a word?
Don't think so.
But it's not unrewarding. Is that what the word I'm looking for? It feels very a lot of work for little reward. That's the better phrase. Yes, put it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's probably really satisfying when you've created a whole comic and you've got it in print and you can hold that in your hands and look at it. I think just the amount of work to get to that point. But then I'll sit down and spend hours and hours tattooing and be fine with that. So I guess I'm just doing the right thing.
Yeah, this is one of the arguments, not arguments, but the conversations I've had with people before of I think I'm a little bit, I don't know about you, but I'm very sort of desensitized to the fact that it's my artwork going out and living a life, if that makes sense.
Kind of. I mean, you do get very desensitized to it, which I think is good because you can't worry about it too much because you just be constant stress otherwise. Yeah. But I often get a realization of wow, I drew that and it's on someone. That's, when I'm a bit harsh on myself and critiquing it, be I did that on skin though. Yeah.
And do you ever find yourself going, wonder what that tattoo's up to now?
Yeah. And sometimes I'm they're going to die with that. They're going to be in a coffin with my art on them.
Yeah.
Pikachu playing the piano.
I didn't know if there might be a scheme to be able to get them to sign a disclaimer that if they do die, we can have it back.
Just try and frame it.
Yeah, you're just renting this off me until you're dead, all right? And then yeah.
There is a tattoo museum. I think it was America or Japan. I know Japan definitely has one. But the old Yakuza bodysuits.
Yeah.
They wanted to preserve a lot of them because it is it's history and these amazing master artists creating this, and then it's just disappeared. So a lot of people were kind of donating their bodies afterwards, and they'd prepare the skin and kind of cut out the back pieces and that, so they can, and they're in a museum that you can go and see.
That's pretty sick. I mean,
it's really grim. I'd love to go.
Yeah. But sorry, excuse me again. It's with that, it's a morbid curiosity, and a lot of people have said to me when tattooing, they go, "You enjoy this, don't you?" And I'm like, "No," and then I'm actually I think I do enjoy this, not weirdly enjoy it, but I don't know.
It's fun though, isn't it, as a job?
Yeah, definitely meeting all the different sort of people, especially in a studio like ours where there is so many different sorts of people coming through the door, and all of them have got a story, and you just sort of find yourself every now and again, you just when you think everything's normal, there'll be this person that comes in and they'll have a backstory or an inspiration that is just a massive curveball. And I mean, we've been there before, haven't we, where you're just I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I love that. I just love how So I hate knowing what my day is going to look like.
Yeah.
I love that about this work, is just you never know what's going to happen.
No.
Different every day, and yeah, the people that you meet. And I always say that like we're just as much a therapist as an artist.
Yeah.
That is so true, and we should probably be trained to deal with that.
Yeah. I think we should be paid more to deal with some people.
But I think it's something about being in the chair that makes people really open up and talk about it, and you know, it really makes the time go quicker hearing someone's life history when they're sat there.
Yeah. I mean, I've been laid with some like heavy stuff before, like stuff that like, you know, people they openly turn around and go, I haven't told this to anyone. I don't really know what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to be giving advice and stuff because that's not something I'm necessarily trained to do. But I think sometimes people just need a listening ear and
Yeah.
need an outlet for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because like I said, I wanted to get into psychology originally, and I feel like I'm doing that at the same time.
Yeah. And well, it's just interesting, isn't it? Like when people come in, and like I say, you can have people from the extremes of like they really surprise you, where they're like, "Oh, I've got 7 wives, and I'm a fucking Martian, and I've done this, that, and the other," and you're like, "Fucking hell, right? Okay, I just thought you was a guy who worked in an office." And or whatever, and then you got the other extremes where they're like, right, my life's falling apart and I need you to fix it with this tattoo, and you're like, oh, I'll do my best.
Yeah, you absolutely get every end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
and I love that. I just love meeting people and hearing from them. It's super interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously a lot of them are absolute nutters, and
yeah,
that definitely happens. I think just this kind of job attracts some people like that.
yeah. It's strange. Like, I mean, we've got quite a good customer base, to be fair, of like a lot of sound people. Which, when you hear stories from other artists, you're like, well, we've got it quite easy. Like, it's quite like we have a real sense of community, I think, with our shop.
Yeah, it's nice getting the same people back and kind of getting to know them over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really form friendships with clients, and just getting to know people. It's nice.
Yeah. Do you have any like clients that you ended up like having like not a relationship with, obviously because you've got your partner, but like a proper friendship with, like through tattooing?
Yeah, well, Mary I met through she was a customer to begin with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was she came to me with a stack of papers of all her sketches of things she wanted.
Yeah.
I think she had like 1 or 2 at the time.
Yeah.
See, now she's like covered.
Yeah. Have you done all of her tattoos then?
Yeah, apart from the original couple, because I think she said it would be like cheating on me to go to someone else at this point.
Yeah.
I said, if you want to, you can.
Yeah. I find there's two kinds of client. There's either the ones that are like, right, you are my savior, and I'm only getting tattooed by you. And then there's the others that are like, I want you to do this, and then I'm getting to get 6 others by 6 other artists. And there never seems to be anywhere in between for people.
Yeah, I still find it weird that people could be like a fan of my work. Because did I tell you about? So one time I ordered a pizza, and I opened the door, and the lady was there with the pizza. She was like, "Oh, are you Lientie?" I was like, "What?" Yeah. Like, oh my god, I love your work. It was really weird, but it was really nice. I was like proper smiling after. I was like, oh my god, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Actually, like, seen my artwork on people and want something that I've done. I just find it so humbling and really appreciate it even now. I don't think I'll ever get used to that.
No. I mean, I'm no, obviously we neither of us are any like sort of celebrity, so to speak, but like it is, I've had that before where like, oh, you're Chunky T, you got that shop on and all this, and I'm just like, yeah, that's me, and I just automatically go really awkward and just go, yeah, that's me, thank you, yes. It's an odd feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe is it a British thing where we're just a bit like, oh, I want to big myself up or anything.
Yeah, it does seem. I mean, the tattoo industry, I think, is very much. It's like frowned upon because there's so many egos in the game. I think it's frowned. Like, you feel ashamed, and it's a little bit frowned upon for if you do have not necessarily an ego, but like you are proud of your work.
Yeah, I think it's good to never be happy with your work, to be honest, because I think that's the only way you improve.
Yeah.
I
I
do
always say
believe
the
that's
same.
kind of that's the curse of being an artist, is to forever be unhappy with your work and to be frustrated. But that's the only way you get better, because if you're happy, you become complacent and you don't improve.
Yeah. I can think, I'm not going to name any names, but I can think of a lot of artists that I've known over the years where they're just like, I'm like the best I'll ever be. Or that I am the best. And you're just like, you're not going to be the best forever. Like with that attitude, I think you've always got to strive to change your techniques, change your ideas, and just grow and critique your own shit, man.
Yeah, definitely. Be harsh on yourself, but maybe not in front of the person who just got that tattoo.
No.
Just in your head later when you think,
Yeah,
how to get better over time.
yeah. And the thing is, as well, I think because we find it when we've chatted in the studio where you're like, you go, not you, or all of us kind of go, I'm not too happy with that. I feel I could have done that better. But it doesn't mean what you did was rubbish. It just means that you feel like it could have been improved, which I think is the best attitude, really.
Yeah, because I mean, you could say something like that, but I'll look at it and think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Just a personal thing of how you feel about your own work.
Yeah. I must admit, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out not the logic, but like the algorithm of tattooing life, where it seems that whenever I think, it's not that good, or I'm really overcritical about something, I'll put it out on Instagram, or it's a bit more publicly shown, and they're like, mate, that's sick, that's awesome, and I'm like, I thought that was probably one of my worst pieces I've done. And then you do something that's really good, or you think is really good, and then everyone kind of goes, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. It's so subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell a bad piece, but I think for the most part,
yeah,
it's just art in general, I suppose.
Yeah. One thing as well, just why it's popped into my head, you're the first female to be on the show, just to let you know.
Well,
yeah, which is trying to be diverse, but I only know white people, so I'm trying to the vices of living in Lincolnshire.
Exactly.
But yeah,
am I the token female?
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get Courtney on as well, and then that's the two women that I know. That's it. Aside from getting my mum on, that's all the females that I know.
Weirdly, actually, I know more female tattoo artists than men ones, which, I mean, it's supposed to be like a male-dominated industry, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's where it's changing, and I like to see that, to be fair, because it was always like, it was a burly biker bloke down an alleyway that tattooed, and to see that like it's becoming a really diverse industry is good. Yeah,
it's not all skull and crossbones now, is it?
No, although you can't beat a skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes because my work's all obviously colourful, watercolour, cutesy stuff. But the odd occasion where I'll do like a skull and there's like heavy metal music playing in the background, I'll be like, I feel like a real tattoo artist right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you think it's a good thing? Well, obviously it is a good thing with like females coming into the industry and being more well known. Do you see any issues with some of them artists coming through, or what's your sort of opinion of the industry like growing as it is?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I mean, there's so many amazing female artists around the world. I follow quite a lot of them on Instagram. You don't really see the differences, to be honest, nowadays. You don't know who's on the other end of the
Yeah, that's a conversation I had a while back, actually, when all like the Black Lives Matter protest was coming on and stuff. Someone said to me, she's an interior architect, one of my friends, and she said, well, I've realised I can help by promoting, black architects and people in my industry, and sharing their work and leveling the playing field. She's like, have you thought about how you can sort of do that? And I was like, well, in fairness, I don't know half the time, or majority of the time, I don't know the gender or ethnicity of any of these artists. It's just an image, which I kind of like that.
Yeah, I can definitely see how it's a good thing though to help promote people, but I guess if the situation comes up, we can always share stuff, help promote people.
Yeah, but I just kind of like with the tattooing that often it's just a picture of the tattoo.
Just take it for work.
Yeah,
on the
who the person is behind it, what they are, what they do, how they talk, or anything like that is irrelevant. Whether the artwork is good, is what people are attracted to.
Definitely, though you do see a lot of people making it into about them as an artist, and it's kind of them as a persona, and that could be like on some profiles.
Yeah,
It's photos of them as their work.
yeah. I mean,
Kind
that's
of weird for me because I think it should be about the artwork, but I don't know.
yeah.
It's celebrity coming into it.
Yeah, that's where I try and keep the balance a little bit. Not that I'm a celebrity. I've been on the radio once. Do you know
Local
what I mean?
celebrity.
Yeah, I'm a kind of a big deal. But like, I'm trying to keep. I have the two Instagram profiles. That's me. That's like my public, character, and then the other one that is the artwork. And I'm trying to keep them hand in hand. And hopefully it'll just be, rather than being a celebrity, so to speak. Not that that's where I'm striving to be, but like, if it got to that point where I had lots of followers, I wouldn't want to be like people come in for a tattoo because they like the idea of the person rather than the idea of the artwork.
I know that box punch is full of fan mail, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
No, I do see what you mean, though.
Yeah. What do you? Because obviously your branding's quite good on your work.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's the benefit I've had from like doing the graphic design background is always being able to do my own branding.
Yeah.
And I want it to always be very cohesive. But I was just thinking, actually, I've got the 3 Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to find a better way to kind of, I don't know whether to merge them or work on them differently, but because I've got the cosplay stuff, the artwork and illustration, and then tattooing, it's all such different stuff. And I don't want it to merge together and not have a strong kind of feeling to it.
Yeah, one thing I've been doing is like my Facebook page is an amalgamation of everything, and then using like the Instagram as like galleries, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So like the page pushes like whether it's just a photo of me, whether it's like the podcast stuff, whether it's music, design, tattooing, whatever, that all goes on the Facebook page. And then on the Instagram is like I've got one just for the artwork, just for myself, just for music, you know what I mean? And then it sort of links around. I found that's worked better, because when I was trying to figure it out to start with, it's a minefield of knowing where to go.
Yeah, it is, because you don't want to water down it too much, I think.
No.
And I guess it's even harder with like the music side of it. It's like so different as well.
Yeah. But I mean, just going back to what you're saying about your branding, I think that's one thing that that really makes you stand out from the crowd.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
it's one thing that I've always found very important. And like I said, I love about the Iron and Pin is that it has very strong branding and a strong emphasis on design. And I think you should trust the place a bit more. You know, nowadays when you look at a website, if it's good quality, good design, makes you trust it a little bit more.
Yeah, and not just like MS-DOS and just like the old school 98 Windows 98.
It's like when you walk past a restaurant, it's got Comic Sans in the title, and you're like, don't feel right about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, obviously, it was our first convention that we did in February, wasn't it? And
was that this year?
Yeah, apparently.
So long ago.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. We're nearly on a year, best part of a year on from going to that now. How many months what are we in now? We're in November. So yeah, we're like 3/4 of a year away from when we went to that convention, which is mad.
Crazy.
But I noticed there, and we had a conversation about it, even like really well-established artists didn't really have any branding.
Yeah, and I think you found that there was definitely like the tattoo style where everyone used, it's the Calling Angels font. That's the popular one.
Yeah.
White on black and all which is black, which is why I wanted to stand out. And I have my like pastels and bold colours, and I think it works. I think I like not being known at all, but just having the colours there. I found a lot of people coming over to our stall.
Yeah.
Like, my side of it, they having just the bright colours at the end of the row.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously Danny and Tom came with us, and like we all had that sort of conversation of like, actually, the whole of that stall, obviously yours even more so with having a lot more bright colours there, but we was like, it was weirdly individual to see our stall because the shop was branded on its own way. I was branded, you were branded, and
But it all worked together really well.
yeah, and that's what I've liked about the studio. Like, obviously, Courtney's really worked on her branding since coming to the studio, and it's very generic. Like other, not Courtney, sorry, like all the other, all the artists you see that are just like, they just seem to have a generic. Even the like little logos or watermarks, they're always like the same. They always follow a pattern, and having that thing that's a little bit different, I think it benefits us.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely stands out, I think. Anyway, I just think, yeah, it's not the be all and end all, but I think nice design is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the fact that it was just a case of like, you walk around that, like the convention, and I don't know how many artists there, 100 maybe more.
Yeah, probably more. There's
200 maybe, I don't know. It's a big old place, but like, it seemed, and it was hard to judge whether it was us that were standing out or whether it's just because we knew it.
Might be that. I mean, I found it so interesting going around to see all the different stalls and how people had kind of made it so individual with it, like the props that they used or the different things together. It was very, very inspiring.
Yeah,
it is for next time.
Yeah.
If we can ever do that again.
Yeah, it might be banned for life now. Who knows?
So what you say?
Just saying, it's just a bit depressing, isn't it? When you like, it might never be able to go to something like that.
I miss doing things. I think it was a year ago, around about now, we did MCM Birmingham. So that was the first big Comic-Con I did.
Yeah.
I was like so excited to do loads of them this year. I was going to do London, and like, not happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't sign the shop up now, because we was going to do, was it the Great British Convention? Convention that we got invited to?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we didn't sign up for it now, because it's not happening.
Yeah, didn't lose your money on that.
Yeah. But yeah, are you thinking of doing any more sort of like international conventions or traveling or anything like that?
I'd like to eventually. That was always my kind of long-term plan, was to try and combine like traveling and tattooing.
Yeah.
Not gonna like, not disappearing off 6 months at a time, but doing a couple of weeks away here and there.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy that eventually.
Yeah. I want to do it, but I don't know if I ever will. No.
Just not bothered, or?
I think it's not one of my aspirations. I've never been really much of a traveller.
Have you? Yes, that's like my favourite thing in the world, is just being lost in another country on the other side of the world. Like,
yeah. Maybe if I wasn't, family man, so to speak, maybe it'd be different for me. But like, I think that I'm very much, I don't really go abroad a lot, and I think there's a lot of places I haven't seen in this country. I'm very much like, well, I may as well see something here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's so different.
Yeah.
Go like somewhere totally different to the UK.
Yeah.
And if you're happy with that, there's no problem with that either.
No, well, different strokes for different folks, I suppose to say. But like,
they say.
So what places are on your bucket list then?
Oh, just everywhere. Except America.
You got to say again, mate.
Except America right now.
Yeah.
Been that bothered about America, but yeah. Always wanted to do Vietnam. That was our plan a couple of years ago, but yeah, didn't really work out this year.
No. Well, speaking of America, I suppose you're happy with the latest.
God, such a relief.
Yeah. Do you think Biden's going to fix it, or how do you think that's going to go?
I'll see what happens, I suppose, but they've got a lot of work to do still, and
yeah,
not perfect, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than 4 more years of Trump.
I'm interested to see how the next few months unfold with all that, because
Yeah, he might just kind of try and destroy everything.
Yeah, I think he's going to sit on the White House floor and just say, "No, I'm not. I'm not going."
Maybe he might just end up golfing for like a few months. And,
Yeah,
yeah, on a plane to Russia.
yeah. He'll get his mate Putin involved, won't he? Again.
Yeah. Such a relief. I know it's like people say it doesn't affect you over there, but it really does. And like,
Yeah.
Politically for a start, but I think that the environmental impact of 4 more years of Trump and nothing being done about any environmental issues.
Mm.
We need to be doing as much as possible in the near future.
Do you think our days are numbered with the global warming? I know we're getting completely off topic, but that's what I like about these conversations.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bit of not quite a doomsdayer, but I don't think I'll reach retirement. I think everything will be a bit fucked by then. So
yeah,
just try to enjoy everything as much as I can.
Yeah,
as I can.
Yeah, I don't know about the global warming. It's not that I don't believe in it or anything like that, but it's one of those things where unless the world comes together to solve it, it's not going to get solved.
Yeah, that's why I think like we're kind of fucked because that's not really going to happen.
No, if aliens turned up, we'd be knackered, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I'd just be like, that's it for 2020. I don't even care anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing about the moon is wet. Apparently, that's the thing now.
The moon's wet.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that analogy. Yeah.
No, that's the news now.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I like that term of phrase of like, because like, everybody else is like, they found water on the moon. And you're like, the moon is wet.
Love that.
We have a half moon, we have a full moon, and we have a damp moon.
The moon up there is absolutely dripping.
Yeah, sodden. What was you saying? Sorry, it just tickled me. See what you're saying that they found water on the moon.
Yeah, something about that. Apparently that's big news. But now at this point we're just like, great. There's just too much to take in.
Yeah, but why are we fucking about with that? Like, there's the worldwide pandemic, and they're like, oh, let's check if there's water on the moon. Like, that doesn't help us right now.
Yeah, but they're not going to get the space scientists to be like, okay, you guys, I know you've never done it before, but just give it a try. Go and have a go at a vaccine.
Yeah, no, but they should be indoors. They should be indoors, right? They should be staying at home, not fucking off to the moon.
Yeah, but there's no social distancing on the moon.
I suppose the air can't travel. Like stuff can't travel properly in the vacuum and all that, can it? So
we've solved it. We all just need to move.
Yeah, that's it. That's what Elon Musk's on with, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's getting us all to Mars.
It's like previous to Mars. Yeah, I don't know if I want to live on Mars.
I wonder if this COVID test is actually just a test. It's a Mars like correction test, and if you've had it, it means you survive it. You can survive on Mars.
That would be elite, but
yeah.
I'm so sick of all these serious conspiracies now, where conspiracy theorists are just ending up to be really racist. I miss like conspiracies like Loch Ness monster and aliens among us, lizard people.
Yeah,
the good old conspiracies.
You don't believe in the flat Earth, then?
Not particularly.
Not particularly. Oh, you have to expand on that.
No, I don't. I like the idea of them.
Yeah.
But
I can't believe there's that many people out there that believe that.
It's insane. I always think of it as quite an American thing, but then I found a flat Earth leaflet outside a walkabout a few months ago. It was like, looked on the back, it was like, do your own research. It's got like a link to YouTube. But one of those links where it's got like XKJ at the end. Like,
yeah.
But
this is what I think. Like, do you reckon the human race is doomed through stupidity?
Probably, but I guess the Earth will be okay in the end, regardless.
Yeah, it will probably still be here. Whether or not we are, may be a different question.
No, I would love a bunker. If I could have my own bunker, I'd be so happy.
Have you got room under your house to like build one?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Okay. Well, I know where I'm going if the apocalypse is truly upon us. I'll come knocking. Bethan, Let me in. It's me. He was, fuck off, go away.
Speaking of, oh yeah, I had another thing to show, one of my props. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can get it on camera though. This is my. Did you ever play Fallout?
No, I didn't.
Well, this is my Fat Man launcher that I made a few years ago.
Wow.
Try not to knock or something. Yeah.
How does that? What? What am I looking at, mate?
Hard to get on screen, really. It's too big.
So it's a big fuck off gun.
I made big fuck off gun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I made of EVA foam and that I made, and just kind of that's gonna be in my near future. Just more big guns.
Yeah. Have you ever been like involved with like LARPing or anything like that, or is that not your sort of bag?
No, I think that's just a whole another thing to get into that I never really ended up in.
Yeah.
But maybe some point.
Yeah. Well, I know you've recently got into longbowing.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, it's like 10 of them, or maybe less. So I don't know too much, but really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to take those to LARP events, though.
You say again, mate?
I don't think you're allowed to take those to LARP events.
No.
Proper longbows.
Yeah. So do you want to tell the story of how you got into it?
Sorry. I just kind of went onto Facebook and I thought, it would be good. Archery, because, tattooing is like bad on your back. And, I figured, does those muscles. I happened to come across a Facebook page with like 20 people in it called Lincoln Longbows. So I thought, join that. And the next day, a lady turned up at work when I wasn't there to talk to me about it.
Yeah. I love that.
And she messaged me and said, I just dropped by your work. I was like, you did what? Excuse me? But she's really lovely and it's been really nice to get to know them all.
Yeah.
But just real decent, nice people out there shooting stuff.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things that you just don't think exists, if that makes sense. Like, it's like a really sort of niche thing. But it's really great that like them groups exist, especially in rural Lincolnshire. Like that, like there is options out there that's not just football or rugby.
Yeah, and I can't believe there's not more people doing it. I was like, I can't believe I found this. This is amazing. They've got all the stuff there for you to try it out, and I've got a couple of other friends into it. So there's a group of like about 5 of us got there now. So we're like the newbies.
Yeah.
2 of us, we were like, shooting the target, and we were like, we're doing sports.
Yeah.
We're outdoors.
Outdoors doing sports, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm basically a doctor now.
Yeah, yeah. Burly longbower, shooting fuck out of everything. I suppose that's good at post-apocalyptic training as well, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Get really serious about it.
Yeah. If there's zombie outbreaks, mate, then again, you're sorted with your bunker that may or may not exist and your longbow.
Yeah.
Unstoppable force.
Yeah, growing stuff. I could do that.
Yeah.
Gardening. Yeah, I need a dog.
Yeah.
Thing.
Like a big fuck off bear, but like bear dog.
Like they're called Malamutes or something.
Yeah. That's it. And you can ride it as well, if it's big enough to ride as well.
By like longbow in arm, riding Malamutes into to get supplies.
Yeah, I feel like that should be one of your next commissions for like your character commissions.
Yeah.
So what else can we talk about? So you've been doing commissions as well over lockdown as well, haven't you? Speaking of which.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things I always do anyway. I get kind of a fairly regular supply of commissions for people's D&D characters. Yeah. Which is something I really, really enjoy doing. I've always loved painting characters. It's a good kind of outlet for that, where trying to kind of bring someone's creation to life. So
how did with the commissions then? Do they just send you a description, or do they call you, or?
So I normally make some posts like with examples there, and just say like, drop me a message, and I'll ask for any references that people have, and a description, which normally people who have D&D characters have the description anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then just like ask them to let me know about any ideas for scenes or anything. I just kind of blend it all together.
Yeah. Is it one of those things that is like with the flash sheets and that? Can you bang them out pretty quick then?
Yeah,
Not to give away too many trade secrets, like, but
yeah, it takes me a few hours, but
yeah, it's quite a good.
not like super long. But I think because I've just like done it so many times now,
Yeah,
it gets a lot quicker over time.
yeah, just a bit of muscle memory.
Yeah, kind of. It's just really fun. I like the really challenging ones where people come to you like one I had where they asked for their characters were falling off of a temple with a box of bees, and the bees had been let out and they were like attacking. So they were like, "Can you do all this?"
Yeah,
think of a way to create that, dynamic image.
Always like quite a bit of a challenge then, like trying to actually bring them to life. Do you get anybody actually say to you, "I don't like that. I don't like how that looks," or like requesting many changes?
There's normally maybe a couple of changes, but nowadays I don't really get many people asking for changes too much. No. I think I used to before, but I think I'm quite good at getting an accurate idea of what people are thinking.
Yeah, that's good. And obviously Tom was on. I've spoken to Tom previously, your partner, and he was saying about how you're doing a lot of the artwork and that for the Suitably Odd sort of all the maps and the graphics for your Patreon, or is that how you say it? I always say Patron, and I get it wrong.
Yeah, on Patreon. Just kind of another thing where I just started doodling one day and I ended up drawing a map. So
yeah.
Just like threw a grid down, and it's like that was really, really fun to do because you don't have to think about like normally drawing characters. You don't want it to be all. You want it to be as accurate and like not messed up, with the proportions and the faces and everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about any of that with maps.
No, you can just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just got into it that way and I've just kind of carried on.
Yeah. Because you and Tom run a lot of the D&D stuff. Do you have much of involvement with that then, or?
No, I'm just a player and listener of ideas.
Yeah, just help him sort of like to help with the development and be like the focus group, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't want to like have any spoilers as well though, so I'll be like, no.
Yeah, I suppose there's that,
Yeah, but it's really fun. I'm in 2 groups a week, which seems like a lot, but really. So
you've moved that online, haven't you? Or has that been online since COVID?
We had one group that got back together, but we're fully back online now with the lockdown and just to be safer. Yeah, we're using Fantasy Grounds for that.
That's good. Have you been? What got you into D&D? Was it Tom, or was it? Yeah,
it was just Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things I thought about years ago. Always sounded very fun, but I don't know. It's really hard to get into when you don't know how. Like, where do you start?
Yeah, that's it. I must admit, through meeting yourself and Tom, I very much I feel like I've unlocked the knowledge of D&D now.
Point now.
Yeah, before it was like, no, I'm not in the gang. I don't know where you start or where you go to do these things.
Yeah, like do you just walk into a game store and like your wizard robe be like, eh?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh come on, I know, take me out the back. I know what's going on here.
What's the secret word, to get through to the D&D?
Yeah, that's it.
It's been really good to get into. I mean, I never thought I'd get into the whole kind of role playing side of it or anything like that. It was never my sort of thing.
No.
But yeah, a lot of fun, especially when you get a group who kind of really vibes together really well and just get really into it. Yeah.
You've come into the studio. I mentioned this with Tom as well. You've come into the studio before. Like one of the guys died last night, and like I'm almost on the point of like, what in real life? Because you're very upset about this.
That was really sad though. She got stepped on by a giant. To be fair, she was leaving the game and she did want to die, but it's still sad. It's the way he tells it.
Yeah,
he's such a good talker.
Yeah, I think the episode with him is like the best part of 2 hours long because I spent a lot of it just going, wow, just like just lapping it all up.
So easy to listen to. Yeah. And then you're in a game and it'd be like, when he's describing a really intense scene, there'll be 5 of us sat there like.
Yeah. It's great. And you've been working with him as well on the Wanderer's Way Tavern as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so he's already kind of gone over that, I guess.
Yeah.
Project.
What bits have you been making for that then?
It's kind of just been collaborative that effort with like sorting everything out, trying to things together. I'm good at bargain hunting. That's my
Yeah,
speciality.
that's your official title.
Yes, the
Official bargain
face
hunt.
scourer of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Good luck. But to be fair, I found one of the big solid oak tables for 15 quid. So
Yeah, I've seen that table. That is a bargain.
that is insane, right?
Yeah, I feel like you could sell it on for more without doing anything as well. Like,
I mean, they're 700 quid new.
yeah, and it's like it is pristine.
But there's that, and I'm working on a owlbear head. Owlbear's like a D&D creature,
Yeah,
golem bear, as it says in the title.
yeah,
But we're gonna like have a mounted one of the head on the wall.
yeah,
Trying to do it life size-ish. It's kind of like that sort of size.
yeah,
I'm making that out of foam and made the eyes up. Ordered some glass from China and crafted the beak. Just trying to make it like really as realistic as possible.
yeah,
So that's gonna be creepy.
yeah. Well, I like that though. I wish I could turn my hand to that sort of like crafting of stuff, like you know, even with your cosplay stuff, and like just I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah, I don't know how I started, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember like when I first got into steampunk, I just kind of cut up a belt and got a bit of a lens, kind of stick it all together with super glue to try and make some goggles.
yeah,
And I remember that one being one of my first like 3D craft projects. I think that's how a lot of people in steampunk get started. You know, you raid the charity shop, try and stick stuff together and
yeah.
get better over time.
I suppose like I've always been like quite intense when it's come to like fancy dress. Like I'm very much like if it's like if I'm gonna do it, I'm doing it properly, so to speak. Like I'm not one of these people who will just spend £8 on a wig and be like, I've come as this person. I'm
Very
like,
all or
no.
nothing.
Yeah. So I guess it like with that, if you're gonna do it, you want to be the best, not necessarily the best, but like be really authentic. And I suppose in that sort of culture, there's a lot of people that really like put a lot of time and effort into that.
Yeah, and I think you always compare yourself to those people as well. That's one thing that's amazing about Asylum, the Steampunk Festival. You see all these outfits and inspiration, and every year you want to like have ideas how to improve and want to do something even bigger and better.
Yeah.
It just gets out of hand.
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those things as well. If you went to like Asylum, even to just Joe Blogs, and saw everybody, you'd be like, next year I'm getting an outfit.
That is exactly what happens, and I think how a lot of the taxi drivers around town got into it.
Oh, really?
They'll taxiing people up there and chatting about it, and they'll be like, next year I'm going to dress up.
Yeah,
and
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of gateway to it, and especially in Lincoln, where you'll be around and seeing that, and everyone walking around every year.
Yeah, and there's a real sense of community, I think, with Asylum, and every year I miss it, which is like a nightmare because I really want to go to it, and every year I'm like, shit, it's Asylum now. It seems quite a bit of a cult thing. I don't know whether it's just I'm not like looking in the right places, but it does seem very much like, oh, it's Asylum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's like the Facebook pages, I think, is where most of the information is, and people be posting throughout the year about, the ideas, and it's not the only meetups. There'll be like regular meetups.
Yeah.
Throughout time, so you kind of get into it that way. So not necessarily a cult thing, but it's like more like a club, I guess. When you know about and you know about when to meet up.
Yeah. It's because it doesn't seem like commercially advertised around Lincoln like a lot of places. You don't see any like big posters.
No, I guess
like
apart from like the lead up to Asylum, they put those stickers up, don't they, in a lot of shops, which is nice, like little cogs in the windows.
Yeah, I suppose it's quite nice that it's organically grown like that, though. Do you know why Lincoln's like quite a steampunk hub, or?
Yeah, it's just because of Asylum, really. Because I think it started here 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
And it was quite small back then. It was, obviously in the Asylum building up at top of town.
Yeah.
And and kind of grown outwards from there, and encompassing the castle, and then just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why like the local steampunk group has been quite big with that as well.
Yeah. I've just never really known where it came from or why Lincoln, if that makes sense. But then again, I'm not in them circles. I'm not, like I say, if I delved into it, there'd obviously be, weekends and meetups and that all over the country. But I just didn't know if there was any particular ties for it being Lincoln.
Yeah, it's literally just the best one. It's kind of become the UK hub for steampunk.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like, it's very, very different as well. And
you wouldn't really expect it from a town like this either, would you?
No. Like, honestly, I remember when I first started becoming a bit more aware of like steampunk and noticing when them weekends were on and the people in the full outfits walking around town, I was thinking, mate, what are you doing? Like, you can't be walking down this road dressed like that because people will be mad at you. Do you know what I mean? There's people here that still don't quite understand Muslim people. So if you're gonna walk around with a top hat and cogs and all this, that, and the other, God bless you.
I don't know really, because most people in steampunk are white and they tend not to get shouted at. So maybe that's
yeah. I suppose it's just he's just a weird white
bit of
guy.
protection for you. Yeah. Like you can get away more with being a bit quirky, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I did worry, and then it's like you say, with it being rural and so like very behind the times generally, it's surprising that something along those lines is like accepted.
Yeah, and you'd expect to get yelled at and stuff, but I mean, I've walked down the streets in like most outrageous outfits, and
yeah,
people avoid looking at you, if anything.
Yeah, well, I suppose the more extravagant, the more likely people are going to be like, right, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, like you'd be like, you know what, I'll leave it.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that is a real gun that they're carrying or it's a shrink ray.
But it's always quite surreal after Asylum, is there? If you've been to the top of town when everybody's dressed up and it's just like so many people, and then you go up there a few days later after it's over and it's all quiet and there's nobody dressed up. It's a very odd feeling. It's just into this fantasy world for a few days.
Yeah, I like the idea, and one thing that really pulled me into it was when you told me about, is it tea dueling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For the purpose of people watching, could you explain that?
Okay, so it's a steampunk sport, I guess. How does it work? So two people get their cups of tea, and you've got to have the right kind of biscuit. Can't remember what kind. And you've got to sit opposite each other. You've got to dip it in, wait 3 seconds, and then the referee, will call. You pull it out, and it's got to be the last person to get the biscuit in their mouth wins. So you try and psych people up. You can hold the biscuit downwards so that it's more likely to fall down, or upwards, but it's like a little bit less stable. So there's all sorts of techniques.
Yeah.
People just kind of do that. Last year we did street tea dueling, where we were just in a pub and we just started it up.
I like that. Like our tea crowd, isn't it? Like street countdown.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so funny. And my friend was trying to get like other people involved in it, so it was just some like randomers who were sat in the pub garden getting involved and like getting really into it. And Tom got roped in as the commentator.
Yeah. Well, that's the sort of thing that I like, though. I love them sort of things. I find that like there's a lot of that sort of vibe from Boomtown Festival. And I've told you about it before, and like I definitely would recommend for you to go to that.
I really want to go.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah. Definitely changed a lot with like electronic music and the sort of people that it's sort of brought along, but there's still a massive community for that sort of side of stuff, and like the maze and storyline and all that sort of stuff. And you and Tom would definitely love that.
Yeah, I love the whole idea of like just be able to discover little things as you go around.
Yeah.
Just like the weird little bits and pieces and storyline, and like you're saying, there's like this treasure hunt sort of thing.
Yeah, I think they call it the maze, and it's like, I think it even works now from literally like when you're not at the festival. There's all things online to try and figure out and Like you can ask, like all their characters have got Instagram profiles and all that, and then when you turn up, then there's characters you can interact with, and they give you clues, and you can go into all these different districts and just literally get immersed in it. And it's gotten to the point now. I don't know how COVID will affect it, like moving forward, but like it's gotten to the point now where there's people who go for the storyline and don't even have time to like watch bands or anything like that, because there's that much to do with it.
Same. I love the whole like actually building the pop-up buildings and everything. It just looks immense.
Yeah, it's definitely some
same type of style every year though. So.
Yeah, that's it. If it clashes, it's knackering, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like between that and I think there was something else as well. We're just going to need to close the studio for August at some point.
Yeah, I think so. We'll just be like, right, it's on travel month, so yeah. We'll see you in a month. But to be fair, I mean, August was nearly the only month we was open for anyway.
Oh yeah,
this year.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, working that asylum weekend, because I know so many people who took the week off in advance. So
yeah.
Everyone had time off, but they couldn't meet up.
No. Yeah. Do you think the world's going to get back to normal anytime soon?
Probably not too soon, but I hope it does. I hope we can just get a vaccine and people actually get back to it. Yeah, I miss how the world used to be. Yeah.
The thing is, it's not changed massively, really, as in the sense of like what people do, if that makes sense. Like. Yeah. It's just them couple of little things that have been, but they're bigger things than people realised, I think.
I think what's going to be weird is going back to not wearing a mask and like work where we had to be like careful all the time to wear the masks.
Yeah.
Just breathing like raw air.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I feel, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I feel very conditioned now. To like, if I'm holding a mask, I will just put it on. Even if I could be outside, I could be in my garden on my own, and if I was holding a mask, and eventually it would be on. And
I'm just going to start passing you different masks at work now.
Yeah, I
even if you've got one on.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Like I'll be I'll be about to go to the shop, or pop over to the road to go to the shop. And obviously, I have my mask in my hand. And I'll get talking to my missus and that, and halfway through talking to her, I'll just put it on, and then that's it. And I'm like, I'm going to stand here for another 5 minutes with this mask on when it doesn't really need to be on. Like, and it's just so weird. And like Amy will go to me, "What are you doing?" And I go, I don't know. I'll take it back off, because then you can actually.
Oh, you don't wear glasses then?
No, that's
a lot more of a pain when you do.
Yeah. I must admit, it's fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. It's like when people come in when it's been raining and they come into the studio and the glasses just go, and they're literally like, I can't see.
Yeah, like, can you fill out this form? And they're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't envy people wearing glasses and the masks at all.
God, it sucks. That's mostly why I can't wait for it to be over. Be able to just see again.
I did see they've like created this like weird dome thing that you can wear. There's like a big like dome that like goes on. It's got full filters and everything.
I really want one of those. Looks like something out of June or something.
Yeah, but I'm wondering whether that might become the norm.
Maybe. I mean, it would keep people away from you, I guess.
Yeah,
might be safer. But I question those. Like, is there a filter in it somewhere, or do you just have like a limited amount of oxygen?
I like that. You see your dice with death, like every time you wear it.
Like, oh, Carl's fainted. Get the mask off him.
Yeah.
Cutting into the dome.
Yeah. Get him free. Yeah. What's your prediction then for sort of relatively normal life returning? When do you reckon?
I'm thinking maybe mid next year. Maybe mid to end next year, because they're going to have to like. I know they're doing phase 3 tests of some of them in the UK. So they're going to have to like wait a while to see what happens with that, and then getting it out to people. But I think there's going to be a big thing of people refusing to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Both the anti-vaxxers and also people who are just a bit unsure about it coming out too quickly.
Yeah. Do you think the likes of like me and you and our sort of age and demographic would be offered it, or do you reckon it'd be very much like the flu vaccine?
I don't know really.
Because they only give that to vulnerable and minors, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they're probably going to do it in waves. You know, having nurses and frontline workers having it first,
Yeah,
and then will be kind of lower down the list. So
yeah,
it might take a bit longer, but
yeah. I
I did
suppose. Go on.
I did sign up for the vaccine trials, so I might get it
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Well, on that note, I'll leave you to your vaccine trials.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously I'll be in touch anyway because we work together. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, it's nice to speak to someone after a week. I've forgotten human faces already.
Yeah, yeah. Well, enjoy your lockdown too, and yeah, thank you very much, and I shall
Cool.
see you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Thank you. So there we have it, episode 5 done and dusted. Thank you very much to Bethan for doing that for me and having a chat. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, don't forget, as usual, to like, share, subscribe this show. Don't forget to check out the Iron and Pin, mine and Bethan Studio. Don't forget mixing my words up. Don't forget to check out Bethan's socials and all that. She's got a few different Instagrams and Facebooks and all that, but make sure you check it out. There's some merch on the Iron and Pin website where it's been designed by myself, Bethan, Courtney, and all different artists and stuff. So make sure you check that out because that does support us, especially during lockdown, which we're in at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much, Bethan, again. And yeah, drop a comment below if you have anybody you want me to chat to, or if you want to chat to me. Yeah, I've got plenty of time at the minute because it's locked down. So yeah, peace. See you guys in a bit.